Hello everybody, I'm your host Wheel Trouble, welcome back. Before we get going, let's go ahead and have you hit like, subscribe to my channel, and then share this channel with all of your friends. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about one of the biggest entry problems I hear about, and that's the need to start spinning wrenches. And one of the factors that can keep people out of motorcycling is the need to occasionally work on your motorcycle. If we're being brutally honest, people don't work on their cars either. I grew up around these things and my dad made sure I assisted with all of the work on them. In spite of that, I still get the jitters when I'm spinning wrenches on my motorcycle too. A quick Google search came up with some of the following reasons why maintenance gets ignored. For sake of ease and brevity, I actually searched up why people don't work on their cars. Yes, this is a motorcycle channel, but still, get off my case. The first is that people are self-centered and careless and don't care about how their actions affect others. That or they have better things to do. Second, they assume the warranty will cover whatever problems creep up. That or they believe that vehicles never need maintenance. The third that I found is ignorance of what is needed to perform a task or what the task is, or why the task even matters. And lastly, people don't have the money for the tools or the training. The first item about people being self-centered and careless doesn't really hit me as being a big deal in the motorcycle community. As a matter of fact, a motorcycle literally puts your life in your mechanic's hands. In my neck of the woods, that's $100 an hour for a pro, or I can do it myself. I'm not made of money, so this inspires me to do much of the work on my own. Please sponsor me. I did have an employee who couldn't be bothered to buy the bolts or even a rear tire for his 600cc motorcycle. He would make fun of me for being on a 250 while his bike was held together by zip ties and a little bit of good luck. So yes, this does happen, but really, is the fear of spinning wrenches worth dying over? We already established that motorcycling in the US is a luxury, so if you can't afford the upkeep, you probably need a cheaper motorcycle. If you don't have time to do it, hire a pro. It's more expensive than doing it yourself, sure, but you'll be able to sleep better at night by the virtue of actually having survived your riding day. Start on small projects like chain tensioning, and you'll find your tool chest and skill set improve over time just like all other skills you're renting. Yes, I did say skills you're renting, not skills that you have. There's also a little boost to self-confidence knowing that you actually acquired a useful skill. The second item on the list terrifies me. I've met people like this, and I will never understand that mindset. Even so, I see it on forums, and it always comes from some industrial worker who just likes to throw caution to the wind. I can't tell if these guys are just trolling or if they actually believe this crap. Either way, it's no good, and I really wish their licenses were revoked and that they could be relegated to not being able to hold a job more advanced than flipping burgers. The fact that they're spouting off such blatant BS and people who are genuinely seeking knowledge may accidentally believe them is even worse. There are times when trolling is fine, but when you are talking about motor vehicles where people can be injured or killed, trolling should be considered as severe as hate speech. But that's just my opinion. Every vehicle, whether it be car or bike, comes with a manual that has suggested service intervals. Follow it. Period. Follow it. It is much better for the environment if you keep from having to buy a new vehicle every 2 years because you couldn't be bothered to change the oil or install an air filter. That leads very well into the third item on the list. Many people just simply don't know why a task needs done. They figure driver's ed or the Motorcycle Safety Foundation taught them everything they need to actually know. Simply put, those courses are designed with one thing in mind, to get you on the road as fast as possible. They might tell you a few things, like how to change a tire or how to check the PSI, but that's usually the extent of it. I strongly recommend reading the owner's manual cover to cover on any vehicle you actually purchase, regardless of your experience level. Some of what manufacturers recommend is based on traditional expectancies, but you may also find that manufacturers have found ways to save you money by recommending fluids that are less likely to break down over time. Instead of changing your oil every 3,000 miles, you may be changing it every 8,000. There are also features you may not know about if you don't actually read the manual. Also, make a logbook, and make sure you're keeping on top of the maintenance. Some owners' manuals will describe how to do the procedure, and some manufacturers even include basic tools to do the job if they feel it's something that a new owner can do with minimal skill. If you're not comfortable doing it, it is easy to find a dealer or mechanic who can. Each item the manufacturer brings up in the maintenance list is something of importance to keep the machine in running order. I won't list all of the bad side effects of ignoring each item on the more traditional lists. It is just too expansive for this channel. Also, keep in mind that not doing the maintenance will invariably void your warranty. If you're doing the work yourself, log it and keep the receipts. I believe in the manuals enough that I even splurge to get the shop manual whenever I buy a bike. Ignorance is traditionally cured by reading books. This is no exception. The last item is one that kind of tears at me a little. I have a lot of sympathy for people who hit hard times. There's no denying that inflation and wages are not in lockstep. Formal schooling to learn how to spin wrenches takes money and time. Those are resources that are certainly scarce for a lot of people. Fortunately, the internet is free, and many general how-tos exist on YouTube. The tools are another area that takes a bit of time. I won't lie, I'm still rocking the 400-ish piece set that I bought right out of high school. Tools are an investment, and will last you a lifetime if you buy the right ones. Don't be afraid to buy tools that were used but kept in good condition. Also, you can accumulate them slowly. Often I find myself spending $20 to $50 on a tool just because the dealer decided to start charging that much to do the job. This is a case of the dealer pricing themselves out of the market, but that's a story for another video. Also, from the experience, I will tell you that most of the sockets in my toolbox have actually never been touched, never been used. That's across multiple vehicles, cars and motorcycles. They're odd sizes that nobody uses. There's nothing wrong with buying only the tools you need, and that will help save you a ton of money. If your bike uses only 8mm, 6mm, and 5mm hex keys, why spend $15 for 11 keys when you could have spent $3 online for just the hex keys you needed? You see the point? The owner's manual will help you with a little bit of the training, and most dealer service manuals will cover the rest in painful detail. I don't know everything about my bike, but my manual does, so really, I'm constantly consulting the experts, the ones who built the bike especially. That pretty much wraps up my thoughts on why people don't take care of their motorcycles or cars. If you have any thoughts or rebuttals, leave them in the comments down below. Support me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/wheeltrouble. Hit like, subscribe, share with your friends. Until next time, Wheel Trouble out.